What if I told you that effective leadership just comes down to one question that you can ask yourself? That's what we're going to talk about today. My name's Devon Gall. I'm your friend and mentor in business, marketing, and sales. So what is this question? Let's jump right into it. Here's the question. Does this action empower my people? All right? The way I see leadership, for the last decade I've done a leadership position, is you only got two options with people. You can empower them or you can disempower them, right? So every action you take, you have to ask yourself, does this action empower my people? And how do we actually do that? Well, it starts with you. You're the leader. You're the one that they're going to look up to. You're the role model. You're the one that they're supposed to emulate, right? So you have to lead by example. You want your people to work hard, you need to work hard. You want your people to go the extra mile, you got to go the extra mile, right? You can't just check out because everybody else is working, but I can't be there to support you, right? You can't do that. You can't do that if you want your people to always be, invested, right? You have to lead with integrity. You have to lead with honesty. And you know what's going to happen? You're still going to have people that are on your team that are dishonest and have no integrity. And that's okay. But the people that matter, the people that are going to grow and you're going to build into the future leaders of tomorrow, they're going to see you, no matter what, always lead with integrity, always lead with honesty, and they're going to emulate that. All right? A team, your team as the leader is just a reflection of what you are. All right? They're just doing what you're showing them. Not what you're telling them, right? Because you can tell them all types of things, but they're going to do what you're showing them to do. So if you want your team to have a great image, you need a great image. Is everybody going to always have a great image just because you have a great image? No, and that's okay. You have to understand that. Those people, they're on the rotating door. They're on the bottom of the rotating. They're going to come in and they're going to come out. That doesn't mean you get to not have great image one day. Just one day, I'm just going to not have great image, right? Every single day, you're going to have to bring great image, and then your people are going to say, oh, I'm going to emulate that. I want to be like that guy or like that girl because I see what they got. I see how they are, and I want that. So I'm going to be how they are. I'm going to do an act as they do an act, right? So it all starts with you. Be honest, be an effective communicator. Your team's an effective communicator. If you're an effective communicator, are all of them? No. Right? And that's okay, right? So lead with that integrity, lead by example. That's what leading by example means. All right? Do what you want your team to do. You cannot ever expect somebody to do something that you're not willing to do. You can't ever expect your people to do anything that you're not doing yourself. All right? So it starts with you. That's the first way you empower your people. Is be a great role model. Be a great example for them to emulate. All right? Next is equipping your people. The way you empower them is you equip them with the right resources, the right training, and the right tools. All right? If they don't have the right tools for the job, the mission can still get accomplished, right? Because we don't always have the right tools. We don't always have the best tools at our disposal. We don't always have the perfect setup, right? But if you can empower your people to use the best possible tools that are available that you can give to them, you can still win and you can still succeed at the mission, right? But you need to be able to give them those best tools, that best training, those best resources, all right? The big mistake I see here is a lot of, we'll talk about training for a second. A lot of people I've seen leaders do PowerPoints. When you have a bunch of salespeople in a room and you're doing PowerPoints, you know what happens? Most of them are checking out almost instantly. They came because they knew there'd be free coffee at the meeting, but After that, the engagement level starts dropping very, very, very fast. All right, when you start doing deep dives on graphs and charts and this thing and these percentages that don't matter and these things that don't affect their paycheck and these things that no one cares about, like, it looks pretty, it's packaged nice, it's beautiful, the graphics look great. I know you spent a lot of time on that PowerPoint, but what does it do? Is it making money? Is it teaching your people how to make money? Is it equipping your people to go make money? No, then it's not empowering them, right? You have to ask yourself, does this empower my people, right? So equip your people with the right tools, the right resources, the right training. And you as the leader, you have to discern what is the right thing. What is the right thing or things you need to provide for your team, all right? Help erase negatives in your people's lives as much as possible, right? Anything that is negative that's in a person's life, I'm not telling you to get deeply invested in their personal lives, but if there's like some kind of issue that you can help resolve and they trust you enough to come to you and let you know about the issue, and you see an opportunity to be able to help take this negative, and just because you have the experience, you have the wisdom, you've been around the block more than once, right? You can help them process that negative very quickly and show them a way to get out of it very quickly, because you as the leader have probably already dealt with that yourself 10 times, 40 times or something already, right? So you can help them remove these negatives quickly, right? So the more negatives you can help delete out of your people's lives, the more they can focus on the mission, the more they can focus on what really matters, right? And then the more they're also going to buy into you, because you got their back, you're helping them, right? You'll give your shirt off your back for them, right? So that's how your people need to feel about you, right? If you're gonna truly empower them. Well, what's the old phrase? Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care, right? You got to show them you care, because when you show them you care, then they can come to you with their problems. They can trust you as someone that their actual mentor, not just their boss, right? Not just the guy who like bosses them around, or the girl that just bosses them around and tells them to do this, do that, and do this and do that, right? You're somebody that they trust, they want to be like, they want to emulate. Well, you got to show them you care, right? Because you're managing people, you're not managing things. You're managing people, you're not managing spreadsheets, all right? And your people are dynamic, all right? Sometimes your top 20% people, the big dogs or whatever in the business, the people that keep the machine running, the people that make 80% of the commissions, the people that turn your business into a $1 billion, $100 million business. Sometimes those people have things in their life that come up that are inescapable or unavoidable, and sometimes their production is going to go down, right? Are you going to look at that from a human-centered perspective and understand that? Or are you going to just, hey, you didn't tick the box on the spreadsheet I created, so you're on a write-up, right? So you got to understand your people, and you got to understand there's ups and downs in people's lives, and you got to be somebody that they can count on to have their back, right? Well, some people abuse this, yes, but again, they're on the rotating door. They're not gonna be here for very long. They're gonna be in and they're gonna be out. So that's just part of building a team. You're gonna have those people that come and go. All right, not something to worry about. Next is delete. Okay, we're deleting negatives as much as we can for our people so they can focus on mission critical, which is making money, or whatever mission critical is as that the team you're leading for right now. I'm in business, I'm in sales, so that's mission critical. But insulating your team from negatives, all right? So you help delete some of their negatives. Now the thing you don't want to do is start introducing more negatives from outside onto them. So you got to insulate them. Sometimes there's market conditions, sometimes there's big things that happen, and you have like a higher level view as a leader, so you'll see things happen in a market, or you'll see things happen in the program or whatever, and it's not pretty. All right. So you got two choices. You can go there and cry about it, right, in front of your team and talk about how terrible things have gotten, and woe is us, and we're all out of luck now, right? What's that going to do to your team? They're going to be demoralized. They're going to be disempowered immediately. So sometimes you just got to understand this too shall pass, and whatever storm is here now will be gone eventually. You've been in sales. You're a leader. You know this. You've done this. You've been in business. You know this. You've been doing this for a while. So this too shall pass, and the storm can come and go, and your team, they didn't even know it was raining, right? So insulate your team from negatives. Don't start introducing negatives into their mindset, because again, this is all just going to take focus off what they need to be doing, which is fulfilling their own motivations, right? Fulfilling their own things that are driving them, right? So a big mistake I see here is these, especially the larger companies, they start, trying to, with a bunch of PR and gurus and stuff, and motivational speakers or whatever. They try to sell your people or their people on the idea that the product or service is something to be motivated about. All right. I can only get so excited about selling badminton nets. I can only get so excited about selling sugary soft drinks or whatever. Or I can only get so excited about selling mouse traps, right? It could be the best thing ever, and it can be awesome. And I've actually seen true believers come in and work for these companies, and they truly believe in the mission. They love the idea. They bought all the propaganda, and they come in and they do great. And then a couple months go by, and that motivation eventually fizzles. They're still a true believer, but that's not really true motivation. It's believing in the product or service to where, like, I'm going to do everything to fulfill the business's mission. All right. Your people are there to take care of themselves, their future, their families, and that's it, right? And if they can get behind the mission for the business, neat, but that's not a real true motivation for people, all right? I don't care what anybody tells me, that no one is truly going to be motivated to make someone else rich, all right? Because that's what it really comes down to, right? They're there for themselves to get in a better position. They're there to get themselves in a better setup, right? So you got to find ways to help your people reach your goal or their goals, not your goals, because your goals, you got to have big goals yourself as a leader. You got to have great vision that you can share with your people. But your goals kind of have to sit over here, and you can't talk to your people about, I got to hit my goals this year. That's never going to work. All right. If you empower your people, when you empower your people and you help them hit their goals and you understand their motivations and their true motivations, why they will keep working hard and keep going the extra mile and keep doing the things that are outside of what is expected, right? Going above and beyond without being asked. You're creating these type of leaders on your future leaders on your team. The only way you do that is you're helping them get their goals. You're helping them reach their potentials. You're helping them secure their future. And you know what happens if you help all your people or half of your people get to their goals? Your goals automatically happen, right? So focus on your people's goals, and that's how one of the ways of how you can empower them, all right? Recognize and reward your top talent. Remember, the top 20%, this is not in my business. This is not in just like car sales or something. I don't do car sales, but this is not just in like whatever software sales. This is all sales companies and all sales groups, the top 20% of people make 80% of the commission. So these are the people that are building your business. These are the people that are helping your business grow and hitting your financial quarterly reports. These are the ones that are making it happen, right? So you got to recognize and reward that top talent. And you got to do it in a way that is meaningful and impactful to their lives and fulfilling their motivations, fulfilling their desires, all right? If you're giving everybody a water bottle with the company logo on it and saying Merry Christmas, they're probably going to quit, all right? They're probably going to go find something else, all right? You give them a big fat stack of $100 bills because they did so much. Here's a little bit extra. So it's not that big a deal to you because it's only 20% of your workforce, right? 15% of your workforce, some of these companies, right? It's not that big of a deal to spend a couple $1,000,000 across the board to do big vacations, big dinners, big events, big things for your top dogs because you made whatever hundreds of millions of dollars this year, right? So you got to reinvest in your top people because the top people at the end of the day, they're the ones that build the business, right? And as a leader, you need to recognize your top talent and you need to do extra. You need to take care of them. You need to show them that they're appreciated. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, hey, I like working here. I'm recognized. I get rewarded when I work hard and do things and hit records and break records and do amazing things. And they take care of me. And I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but I like working here, right? So you got to reward that top talent, right? Create that culture of winning, right? You can create a culture of whining. You can create a culture of complaining. You can create a culture of talking about all the market negatives, right? That's a culture option too. You can create a culture of spreadsheets. You can create a culture of looking at graphs on PowerPoints all day. Those are culture options too. But you got to create a culture of winning. And a culture of winning is creating a bunch of winners. That's really what it comes. Is everybody on your team going to be a winner? No. That's okay. You know that. Again, those people are going to be on their rotation, right? But the winners all hang out with each other, all feed off of each other, all network with each other, all learn from each other. You, as the leader, you facilitate that. You create those environments where the top people can interact. The top people can share and steal from each other, right? So that's your job as a leader. An easy way, you don't even have to do anything. You just get these people together, right? You get these people together. You get them on the phone together. You get them in the same room together, right? And then you create an atmosphere of sharing. You create an atmosphere of learn from the best, right? That's a culture of winning, right? If somebody's got a better thing they're doing, hey, let's check out what this guy or this girl's doing, right? Let's see why they're doing. How are they so successful? Hey, maybe we should steal that. Maybe we should try that, right? Last two things here, we're going to delegate responsibility, and you also have to trust your people. You have to trust your future leaders, the people you're empowering. Maybe you're a leader of leaders, right? Your leaders, and you should be a leader of leaders because you're creating leaders, right? Because you're a leader and they're emulating you, so they're becoming leaders, right? So as a leader, you should always be a leader of leaders, but you have to delegate responsibility to them to get them to do and learn and make mistakes and start doing these new things that they are not used to doing, and letting them know it's okay to fail and that success is just a bunch of failures strung together, right? So showing them, they might be great at like making the sale or something like that, but they're shaky on like public speaking or something, right? So you put them in situations where they, are willingly attempting to publicly speak, right? And you encourage them, even when they fail, even if they fail wildly, You still encourage them, and you keep pushing them, and you keep reinforcing and building them and creating that. And then over time, you know what happens when you reinforce someone and you give them more chances and they keep failing, but they get a little bit better each time. They become good at it. And you know what? You keep doing it, they become great at it, right? So you got to delegate this responsibility within your team and give people extra responsibility. And then you're going to see everybody rise, because now you have more leaders, now you have more people emulating what you're doing, now you have more people doing all the right things, more people that are fully empowered, they're learning new things, right? People love learning, people crave that structure where they're still a student and they're taking this knowledge and they're implementing it and they're seeing more success. Like you're creating like a true culture right here of like building next generation leaders and helping people fulfill their desires, hitting goals, hitting numbers, hitting paychecks that they've never seen before, right? So sometimes they need a little bit more extra work than the normal to help push them into those uncomfortable places for them to grow. So delegate that responsibility. You don't want to sit there and hold on tight and do every single thing and micromanage every single thing yourself. You have to trust your leaders. You have to trust your leaders, because you can't, no matter how good you are, no matter how great you are, you were number one in the nation, blah, blah, blah. You can't be everywhere at once. You can't. So you have to teach your people, and guess what? They're not going to do it as good as you. And you got to be okay with that. And you're going to help them get better, right? So delegate that responsibility. And then the last thing is, I've worked for multiple companies that have not done this, and I've worked for a couple companies that have done this, but you have to grant ownership to your leaders. You have to get your team members to become part owners, right? Because when they have ownership within the company, they have ownership of the business, they're truly empowered. This is one of the most empowering things for them, because now the business's success is their success. It's directly tied. So the more ownership they have, the more heavily invested they are for the business to succeed. And again, not always the case, but if you share ownership, you're going to see people work a lot harder, work a lot more diligently, and work for the mission critical of the business, not just for themselves, which, you know, that's the main motivator for people. But if they can also help the business grow, because now the business growing is helping their mission critical, which is their future, their family, right? Their finances, all that stuff. It's a beautiful thing, right? So empower your people. Does this action empower your people? All right. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Have a great one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. Maybe I missed a couple. Let me know, how do you empower your people as a leader? All right, take care. Let's go make some money.